What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
You're dead meat! Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Justin, great to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Co-writer and director of Him.
Yes.
Which we had the pleasure of seeing.
Yes, we've gotten to see it. We're one of the lucky few, I think, at this point that have gotten to see the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's, you were truly only a few. So,
nice. Hell yeah. I wanted to talk to you about how you got attached to it in the first place, because I know the script was on the Blacklist in 2022, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's a list of like the best screenplays that haven't been produced yet. And then Monkey Paw got it, and then you became attached as director. So how'd that happen?
I saw an ad on Craigslist. I actually met Jordan back after my first feature film. It was a tiny indie movie called Kicks. And he had just won the Academy Award and just started Monkey Paw, and he was meeting like young filmmakers. So back in like 2017, I think I met Jordan, and it was pretty surreal. And was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy like is curious about my work. And then he was like, I hope we, let's find something. And then, so however long later, Monkey Paw tapped me and they were like, we have this script and we're looking for a writer director to make it their own. And I was like, immediately was like, yeah, I know how to do this.
What drew you to the project? Like, what about it was something that made you say, yes, I immediately want to do this?
Off the rip, it was like, I can't even look to another film that's like it. So the true mashup of sports meets horror, I was like racking the Rolodex of like, I mean, you can't really call that. So that was just exciting, period, to be like, how can you take the language of both genres and infuse them? It was a challenge, and it was really, learned a lot of trial and error about how to make The Promise work for both sports and horror fans. But I think we did a good job. I think I was in a place in my life where it was like I just got burnt out for doing it. Like I did like a ton of television, and I think the COVID had happened, and like I was in a place where I was like, I'm sober now. I'm taking a year off, just trying to like rethink my life. One of those classic cliche things of like probably the most money I made, but the most depressed I'd ever been. So this came across the desk and it was like, oh, well, I also played sports my entire life. Like ball was my first word. And it had my two passions. So like I left sports, loved soccer, and then pursued film. And yeah, all those things came together in a way that was, anyone who wants to be great at anything, like writing, whatever it is, if you're passionate about a craft and you're like, I want to be the best at this, I think it can be very isolating and you kind of just get lost in it sometimes. I definitely remember sometimes being on a set and being like, oh, how many like weddings did I just miss this year? Or like I missed like my birth of a nephew or, and it just pursuing this dream, no matter what capacity. And so that kind of like was in the DNA of what are you willing to do, and is it worth it, and at what point is it worth it, and all the things that come with that. So I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And this movie's got a really unique style to it. It's not something I would expect from a sports horror movie. It doesn't have that kind of varsity feel to it. It's got this really sleek, almost music video style to it. Is that something you kind of brought to it? Was that kind of baked into the script already? Or is that, you said you kind of were brought on to make it your own. Is that something you brought to the project when you came onto it?
Yeah. The bones were kind of there, but I had a very specific take. And thank God Monkey Paw agreed, because it was pretty insane as well. But all the design choices, the color choices, the settings, the locations, that was all very strategically like I wanted to do these things. A lot of that like X-ray kind of skeletal that wasn't in the script, right? Like I brought that. Those were like a visual language that I wanted to bring to it. And shout out Monkey Paw for taking a risk on a kid. 'cause it was my first studio feature. In a sense, I was also kind of like the underdog of like, oh, we don't know. It's kind of a risk, but I was able to take the biggest swing I could. So
Yeah, the X-ray stuff is so cool.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
The bones and all the crunching and the sound, and then you get that kind of reflected in like, I don't know, the concrete and all the textures in this. You got like
Yeah.
leather, and even we were looking at the mascot. His costume is in the lobby at this activation going on, and his hat is crocheted. Like it's so cool. There's so much kind of stuff that you feel like you could reach out and touch in this. I love it. It's so it's just not what you would expect from something like this.
yeah, no, I appreciate you noticing those choices. And a lot of them were through necessity too. I knew I wanted to. We created this history of the team and the mascots of what era, and at a certain point, I was like, well, we can afford tinsel, so that's how Tinsel Larry came about.
So, what is it?
I call him Tinsel Larry.
Tinsel Larry.
Yeah, Tinsel
great.
Larry.
He's
Oh,
very
we
memorable.
love Tinsel Larry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the crowd favorite.
When it came to shooting the X-ray stuff, like how was that done on a technical level? Because I'm
Yeah.
imagining a lot of the X-ray stuff was probably visual effects and done in post, but was there an element of shooting it for those effects that would have to be mapped onto them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. Oh, buckle up. So we did this thing where we had a thermal camera, and we put it over our cinema camera. So we rigged it together through trial and error. This hadn't been done before either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it before.
So
It's
like
awesome.
in our camera, our AC printed the focus pulling mechanism so that we could pull on both cameras with a 3D printer. We were slating with like a children's like metal thing with the alphabet. So we could roll the cinema camera and line it up with our thermal camera and have the option to flicker in and out of the reality and the hyper real dreams space of horror football. And so it was a combination of two images being merged together in addition to a body scan of our actors.
So a lot of that was practical then with the thermal camera.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't
the
all...
only CGI is just the skeleton.
Okay,
Wow.
like an overlay?
Yeah, overlay.
That's really cool.
That's amazing.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
'Cause I was wondering how it was switching back and forth between them so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that hadn't been done. I think that might be building a rig now, actually, but no, we didn't have that. And then it's the combination. I was literally standing behind the camera and then like pouring a glass of water over like Marlon's head. It's like all lo-fi, like film school, just like, let's just see what works.
That's incredible.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah.
Definitely felt like I just got together with some friends and we're like messing around.
And what a cool thing to use in a football focused movie. Because when you think about the violence inherent to football and the horror of football, you think of a horror movie and like gore and blood and football. The scariest part to me about it is brain injuries and what's going on inside. And it's stuff you can't see. And so this X-ray horror, that's such a, like, when you think about it, it's so obvious, and yet, and again, not necessarily the first choice you would make for a horror movie. You think, okay, gore, guts, etc.
Broken bones popping out.
Yeah, so the
but-
X-rays are just so cool.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Part of the approach, that was the impetus for the concept, was the other stuff is inherent. We just need to shoot it, the collisions and that kind of thing. The needles, that's just what happens in locker rooms. It's commonplace. And that was, well, how can you show the invisible killer? And how can you show what really happens when people collide and what that feels like? And because it essentially, even talking to players, it's like getting in car wrecks like every weekend and then trying to recover before the next game. So it takes a toll and you can't see it. And I think that's the biggest thing about the game that's scary is that if you don't see blood, people don't, like an average fan doesn't go, oh, well, clearly they're hurt. It could be a broken rib, it could be your ACL, it could be whatever that's happening internally. So yeah, the hope was that it would come from a more psychological and see what hasn't been seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that invisible element to the injuries also contributes to the kind of machismo culture of like just walk it off or like it's not real, just power through it. And I feel like that really comes through with the Marlon Wayans character and his whole cabal of people that he has there. Like I've never seen him so menacing in a movie.
Yeah.
Like it was sinister.
Yeah, Marlon's performance in this is incredible. It was a joy to watch, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. I mean, there were moments on set where we would be in the middle of a scene, and then we had a rapport, and he would improv, and sometimes I'd just give him signals at certain things to turn it on, and then there would be moments where like the crew would be like, they'd all start like looking at each other, and you're like, oh yeah, you could feel that it's like he's doing something special. But wait, what was I answering?
Well, he's like this, this machismo. He's
the machismo.
I was getting this
Yeah.
like Patrick Bateman of football thing, down to even he's going to watch
yeah.
some tapes.
No, yeah.
Was that
for
intentional
sure,
at all?
For sure.
Yeah.
The tapes, that's so funny. No, that
It
but
works,
yes. But the thing I was referencing for his character were also like post-Vietnam films, like Full Metal Jacket, Apocalypse Now, and seeing that obsession and the ties to the military and like what it takes to be a good football player as a kid to what it takes to be a good soldier. It's modeled that way after the structure of military. The coaches on the sidelines are like generals and so forth. So everyone has to be in sync and do the exact same thing at the same time, and no one can be out of step. So there is, as beautiful as that is, you take it too far, suddenly you're stripping someone of their individualism like a soldier. And if you push it farther, I think the chilling thing for me was, how much are you willing to sacrifice? And at what point do you sacrifice so much you can no longer recognize yourself?
Yeah. Stripping the humanity from him even.
And that was like the feeling when approaching the material of if you don't like have any grounding thing and you're just that, at some point you might just sacrifice so much that you're now just a different person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Like Full Metal Jacket, you got the kind of like clean first half with this kind of twisted father figure almost, and like really chaotic second half. Totally. Yeah, where you're just breaking the individual to have a group mentality almost. Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up on that myself, but now that you mention it, I totally
But I love the
see
Bateman.
it.
I mean, that's actually like spot on.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, that is absolutely...
can use that.
Yeah. For sure.
And the physical shape that both Marlon and Tariq are in is incredible, and especially like Marlon being in his 50s at this point, so shredded. Like, were you mandating any kind of conditioning or anything, or was that left to someone else? Was that someone else's job?
Yeah, that was someone else's job. And shout out the trainer and the football coach because Tyreek was kind of already a freak athlete.
Because he was actually a football player.
He's actually a freak athlete. Like he played soccer. He only played 1 year of high school football, his senior year. That was it. And then he played for Florida State the next year. So it's like,
wow,
oh my
he's
gosh.
a cheat code. But Marlon, he was a disaster. Let me tell you. I can make fun of him because we're cool. But his transformation was nuts. Like his before photos and after photos, just the months leading up to this movie, like it was like, what? Like you could make a documentary about the regimen that he put himself through. And I mean, he totally rockied out, like physically, emotionally, and like, it was insane. He really transformed himself.
Yeah.
Is there like a meta layer? Did he have his own Marlon Wayans getting him super in shape for this? How deep does it go?
There's always something deeper. There's always something deeper.
They're always
but
watching.
he did bring a lot. He did bring a lot. I mean, he was a goat in and of himself.
Yeah.
And it was nice to find someone like that with the emotional weight and then build him up like physically versus finding somebody who was younger and then
hoping that
Doing
they
the
can
revert-
meet
yeah,
the
yeah,
challenge of the
thing.
emotional
Yeah.
beats and everything.
But he's
Yeah.
likable too, is the thing.
Yeah.
and that's so important. Is like
For
he
that
says,
character,
you've got to be able to be the face of the franchise, and you want to like him the whole time because.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I mean, I have like positive associations with him already, which I think is really good casting
Yeah.
as well. You already
Yeah.
go in like, oh, it's Marlon Wayans. I
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
Everyone likes him. And
Spot
he's
on.
terrifying.
Spot on.
Yeah.
It's such a bizarre role that like you had to have charisma. So
So we only have 5 minutes left, but we're gonna quiz you on horror stuff.
oh no.
And you're going to quiz us on football stuff, which is an oh no for us.
Yes.
Because we don't know anything about it. So we can kind of go back and forth asking you a question, then you can ask us a question.
Okay.
All right, you ready for that?
Yeah.
I'll start with what I think is a pretty easy one. Marlon Wayans, speaking of him, he played Shorty in the Scary Movie franchise.
Yeah.
And which Scream character is Shorty a parody of?
Oh shit. I actually don't know.
Even like a guess for the actor from Scream who he's parodying?
Shorty. What's his name? Scooby Doo.
Matthew Lillard?
Yeah.
Good
Not
guess.
a- I was gonna say that's not a bad
It's a
guess.
good guess. Not quite right. It was Jamie Kennedy's character, Randy Meeks.
It's not like the
Randy.
most obvious. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's like the stoner.
Randy Meeks.
Yes.
Classic.
All right, now you get to get us back.
Yeah, now
Don't
you get
worry.
to get
Okay.
get back at us.
We have
with
not
these.
seen these questions.
No, we have
idea
not
what they
seen
are.
these.
Yeah.
How many players is one team supposed to have on the field at a given time?
I feel like 12. Does it seem like
I was
12
gonna
are
say
out there?
14.
Okay, so 13. We'll average them out. Oof. What do we got?
Close. 11.
11. Okay, we both went over too.
11 guys.
Him starred Tyreek Withers also starred in what horror remake this year?
What if I was like, I have no idea?
No. Oh no, he doesn't know anything.
I know what you did last summer.
That's right.
That is correct. Nice.
That is correct.
What does the NFL stand for?
Oh, National Football League. Okay.
Sorry, I was like, okay.
While he's now widely known as Marvel hero Thor, one of Chris Hemsworth's earliest roles was as a college football player in which horror movie?
Shut the hell up. Really?
Yeah. It was funny too because they filmed it before he was Thor, but then it came out after
Yeah.
Thor, so it was like, oh wow, we got lucky that he blew
It was
up
very
in the meantime.
lucky. It was very interesting
Yeah.
timing on their part. I
Actually
forgot.
filmed this before. I know what you did last summer.
Yeah?
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what horror movie you're talking. What he's in.
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my God, he's
in that movie.
Dude, yeah, he
Yes.
like rides the
He-
motorcycle
yes.
into the
Yep.
It was like baby
He's got
Chris
a he's got a
Hemsworth.
great death in that.
Wait,
movie.
shut up.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
All right, it's your.
Okay,
Yeah, bring it on home.
Yes.
can you name 5 movies based around football?
Oh my, Rudy.
I was gonna say. Okay.
Oh no,
Rudy.
that was your one too.
Put 20 seconds on the clock.
Rudy.
Go.
Remember the Titans.
Any Given Sunday. What was the longest yard
The Longest Yard.
and the longest yard
Oh,
remake
The
with Adam
Waterboy.
Sandler? Waterboy. Yeah.
What about? Oh,
That counts?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, good job, hon.
Wow. Val, you did great.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You did great too. Making
You
this
did
movie.
great.
Air Bud Golden Receiver? I didn't know
Didn't
that.
even know that existed.
Whoa.
There's no rules that say a dog can't play football.
Right. Hell yeah.
Sequel to him is the dog as the goat, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, they bring in the dog.
It's a good boy.
Thanks so much. guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Great
This was
chat with you, man.
amazing.
Thank you so much.